Welcome back to educator.com. This lesson is on adding integers. So to use a number line, we can add integers using a number line here. What we're going to do is start with the first number. So if I give you problem 4 plus -2. Okay, I'm going to start off at this number right here, 4. So let me just write out the numbers on this number line. So here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I can just do a few more on this side. And here are my negatives, so this is -4. Okay. So I start at this first number, 4. Okay, so 4 is right here. Okay, I'm going to start right here. Okay. And then use the second number to move spaces. So this number right here is how many spaces I'm going to move. Now, if it's positive, I'm going to move to the right because positive is going, this is the positive direction, right? And then if it's negative, I'm going to move to the left because left is always negative. So since I have a negative number, -2, I'm going to be moving to the left, 2 spaces. Okay, so the negative and the positive is just to see which direction you're going to go, to the right or to the left. And I'm going to move this many number of spaces. So starting at 4, I'm moving to the left 2 spaces. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Now this is where I land, right? So, and this number right here is 2. So my answer is 2. So let's do another example. If I have, let's say, 5 plus -8. Again, I'm going to start off at 5. Here's 5 right here. Okay, I start right here. And I'm going to move 8 spaces to the left because it's negative. So negative is going to make me go left. If this was a positive, I would move 8 spaces to the right. So 8 spaces to the left is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is where I'm going to land, and that's -3, right? Because it's -1, -2, -3. So the number I land on is the answer. So my answer here is -3. And that's how you use a number line to add integers together. And again, integers are all positive and negative whole numbers, right? So no decimals, no fractions, just whole numbers and their opposites. Now, another way to add integers without using the number line, first, let's remember that opposites add to 0. So if I have +5 and I have a -5, then they're going to become 0. Okay, so a 5 plus a -5 equals 0. So opposites, 5 and -5 are opposites. As long as they're opposites, if I add opposites together, then my answer becomes 0. Okay. If both numbers are the same sign, then you're going to add the numbers and keep that sign. If they are opposite signs, we'll talk about that in a second. But let's do an example of this one. So if I have -2 plus -3. They're both negative. They have the same sign. This is negative and this is negative, right? So I'm just going to add up the numbers and I'm going to keep that sign. So my answer is -5. If I have -1 plus -10, then my answer is -11. So as long as I have the same sign, I'm adding 2 numbers with the same sign, then I'm just going to add it and keep that sign. That's it. Okay. Same thing goes with positive numbers. So if I have like 3 plus 6, this is a positive number and this is a positive number. We know that 3 plus 6 is 9, +9, right? You kept the same sign. Now, if the signs are opposite, the 2 numbers that you're adding together have opposite signs, then that becomes a little tricky. So if I have 2 plus a -3, Now this one I know is a positive number. There's no, as long as, because numbers, integers can only be positive or negative, there's no negative sign here, so I know it's positive. Okay, so it's positive 2 plus a negative 3. Now, since they're opposites, what I'm going to do is take the absolute value of both numbers. So the absolute value, if you don't remember absolute value, then take a look at the lesson right before. Absolute value asks me for the distance from 0. So that how far away, on the number line, how far away is 2 from 0? I know it's 2, right? So the absolute value of 2 is 2. The absolute value of this is 3. So I'm actually going to take the absolute values and then, or I'm going to subtract them. Okay, so then basically I'm going to just do 3, because the absolute value of negative 3 is 3, and minus 2. Okay, so I'm going to find the difference. And that becomes 1, right? 3 minus 2 is 1. And then you're going to keep the sign of the number that's greater, with the greater absolute value, the absolute value. So for this one, this has a negative sign. So I'm going to keep that negative sign. Now this is a little confusing, but just keep in mind that when you have the same sign, then it's like you're adding the two numbers and you're keeping that sign. When you have opposite signs, it's like you subtract the numbers and then you take on the sign with the greater value, the absolute value, okay? Another way you can do this is think of positive numbers as dogs. Let's say dogs. I like to use dogs and cats. You can use anything. You can use stars. You can use different colors. So 2 positive number, let's say positive numbers are like dogs and negative numbers are cats. So if I'm adding dogs and cats together, I'm going to add a D for dog and C for cat. So it's going to be dog and a dog, right, because there's 2 of them, and then 3 cats. So that's cat, cat, and cat, because it's negative 3, that's 3 cats. Now each dog and cat cancels out. Okay, they're like opposites that add to 0. Dog and cat cancels out, these cancel out. What do I have left? I have 1 cat. Remember, a cat is a negative number, so it's a negative 1. Okay, I can also use colors. So if I have positive, then let's say I'm going to use blue. So then blue circle, blue circle. Negative 3 is going to be red circles. Okay, so each time I have a blue and a red, I'm going to cancel it out. Cancel it out. What do I have left? 1 red, so that makes a negative. Okay, let's do a few more examples. So add the integers. If I have negative 4 plus negative 2, I'm adding 2 negative numbers together. So you can just add up the 2 numbers and keep the same sign. So negative 4 plus negative 2 is going to be negative 6. Now if I want to draw it out, negative 4, red circles, right, because it's negative, negative 4 plus a negative 2. Now I don't cancel this out because I only cancel out a blue and a red, or opposites. These are not opposites, they're the same. So I can't cancel them, instead I have to add them all together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, and it's red, so it's negative 6. Okay, next one. I have negative 3 plus 8, 3 negatives, so that's red. Okay, and then positive 8 is blue, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the blue and the red cancels out. Cancels out and cancels out. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, and blue is positive, so it's positive 5. can leave it like this, or I can write positive 5. Okay? So again, another way to think of this, you can take the absolute value of each number, so then the absolute value of this is going to be 3. The absolute value of this is 8. So I just find the difference, so I subtract them, so I can just do 8 minus 3 is 5. And then I take on the sign of the greater number, which is 8, and then that's a positive, so this becomes positive. Okay. The next couple of examples, find the sum. That just means to add them up. Negative 15 plus negative 10. We have a negative number and a negative number. So I just add them up, and my answer is also a negative number. So negative 25. Okay. The next one, I have a positive number and a negative number. So again, I take the absolute value, so I'm just going to think of both of these as positive numbers. So 37 minus 25, which is 12, right? And then I take this sign of this number because 37 is bigger than 25. So that has a sign of negative. That means I'm going to give this that same sign. So it's going to be negative 12. Okay, find the value. So this one right here, I'm looking for x. So to find x here, negative 2 plus something is going to give me negative 7. Okay, well, negative 2 plus what is going to give me negative 7? I know if I give myself 5 circles or 5 cats, okay, what do I have to add to this plus what is going to give me 7? How many more do I need? Okay, so I have 5 here, and I have 7 here. Okay, how many more do I need? I need 2 more, right? 2 more red, and that is negative 2 because red I know is negative. So I have to add negative 2 more. Okay, the next example, the absolute value of 15 plus the absolute value of negative 9. The absolute value of 15 is 15. And the absolute value of negative 9 is 9. So my answer is 24. And that's a positive, okay? Again, if it's a positive number, you don't have to write the plus sign, the positive sign. You can just leave it as 24. Okay, the next couple. Add the integers. Okay, again, we have a negative number here plus a negative number here. As long as they have the same sign, in this case, they both have a negative sign, then we can just add the numbers together, 12 and 20, or you can add the absolute values together, so it's 12 plus 20, which is 32. And you're going to give it the same sign. So negative plus a negative equals a negative. So negative 12 plus negative 20 equals negative 32. The next one, 8 plus negative 6. Again, 8 is a positive number, even though there's no sign written there, okay, because numbers can only be positive or negative. And we know it's not negative, so it has to be positive. And plus a negative number. So again, if I want to draw a visual representation of this, this is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the blue represents the positive number. That's positive 8. And then my red is going to represent the negative number, negative 6. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each time I have a blue and a red, an opposite, I'm going to cancel it out. So all of these cancel out. And then what do I have left? 2, and that's positive because blue is positive, right? That's positive 2. Or you can just take the absolute value of these numbers. So the absolute value of 8 is 8, and the absolute value of negative 6 is 6. We're going to subtract those numbers. So 8 minus 6 is going to be 2. Okay, and this is only when the signs are opposite. So 2, and then this was an absolute value of 8, right? And this was 6. So the bigger number is 8, and that has a sign of a positive. So you're going to give that same sign to the answer, which is 2. So it's going to become positive 2. Okay, again, so you take the absolute value of each number, subtract them. So it's 8 minus 6, okay, because the absolute value of 8 is 8, absolute value of negative 6 is 6, 8 minus 6 is 2, and then you're going to give it the same sign as the number, the bigger number, okay? So that's a positive. Your answer becomes positive 2. Okay, so that's it for this lesson on adding integers. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching educator.com.